the quiet in Freeburg is unusual. Even in late in the evening, it's unusual for it to be quiet. There's usually the bark of animals, the sounds of conversation inside of buildings. No matter the hour, there is someone drunk somewhere making a nuisance of themselves. Um, but it is tonight as two parties and a third are preparing for a devastating surprise attack. They hope that there is a very particular kind of quiet, the kind of quiet where the crunch of snow seems like it echoes forever. And because of the cold air, because of the winter being the way that it is, it seems to be particularly poignantly loud. Um, we have two bridges to which two different Unraveled are being summoned. And in the shadows between worlds, a third group is waiting to do their best to fend off what they fear will be the reprisal of Judith. They have a spare cloak that they can loan to one. So I want you guys to decide who is going to be in that world, in the shadow world. Um, some of you know that you're probably not eligible and or it's a bad idea. Um,
Don't want to
and
lose the cloak again, Glory.
they fixed it. They fixed it.
Rosa
Um,
can't. That went bad last time. It could be Runa, Hans, or Gav.
It might not go bad again. You don't know.
It's probably going to go bad again.
It might not.
It might go worse.
Yeah.
It might go better.
She's got
Gav
more
is
powerful
willing.
magic now. Nothing can be wrong with that. Nothing can go
I
bad
have a
with that.
question. Runa's been in the Shadow Ways. Can I gateway there?
Are you
Oh,
so you're asking about gateway in the sense of like look
if
there?
I wanted to, could I see?
Um, are you okay? If you're in the shadows and you gateway, you can look at another location in the shadows, but you cannot look into the shadows from outside of
If
it.
I am out, okay. Can't look in from outside. Okay, good to know. I think it should be Hans.
Did Hans have
'Cause
a
he-
reaction when he went in, or has he even gone in yet?
He went in.
no.
Oh wait,
during
no.
that introductory meeting, he popped in, looked around, and was like, "Huh, it's very nice and dark and quiet in here."
I feel strangely comfortable here.
Yeah, exactly. This is oddly pleasant.
I say it should be Hans because you seemed excited about it.
Being one of the two like big melees who can go in there and not immediately die, I was like, "Oh, I'd be willing to do it."
Gav was willing to let Hans go in. I mean,
Yeah.
and out of the two experiences, Hans's was better. You know, Gav's
Fair
was
enough.
spooky.
Runa just saw runes in there.
Yeah.
Runes over a mansion. I still want to check that out. I just remembered that happened.
All right. So Hans is in the Shadowways with Kavi. And where they're at is at a point that sort of Kazi, sorry. Kavi is the Kavi was the blacksmith, Kazi is the hunter. You're at like a high point where you can see both bridges through the nightways. And it's going to be the job to both kind of like signal like now they're close enough, etc. And then the rest of the groups are sort of split up to each bridge. Gav has had his little gang like show up with guns, which means that they have a lot of guns that can be trained on their point of appearance. Does that make sense? A really sort of disturbing number of guns in the hands of like your little kid gang.
Don't worry about it.
Like they didn't just show up with pistols like there were fully 50 of them that showed up with rifles and spare shot.
Oh yeah.
Rosa
Don't worry
is
about
making
it.
concern face. Like,
It's a hard knock life, but not for us. We're strapped.
um, and also clear to those who are watching that like wherever they're doing it, you have no idea, but like they've been practicing enough that they're experienced at like reloading and handling them. None of them have like no firearm skill. They all know how to aim.
Damn.
They all know how to reload.
I'd say keep those boys away from Brandy, but honestly, I'm impressed.
Must be a secret gun range in the sewers or something.
I just think
Plenty of
one of those
kobolds
boys
and
in
sewer
Brandy
monsters to shoot at.
a violent duo. Can shoot guns, can shoot lightning. That's trouble.
So the okay, so we have Hans's in the Shadow World. Where are Honorine and Len and Runa and Gav and Rosa? There's going to be the Strega's bridge, and there's another bridge. Uh, Rosa is going to be one of the people that's reciting the song. Honorine has heard it before, but she can also have taught it. They can be involving the violinist.
Is it if it's in Vidachi, Runa could potentially sing it.
I think it was.
Vidachi
I think it
notes.
was
Wordless.
Wordless?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was Honorine that sang it the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Honorine was
it's-
humming it, yeah.
Yeah, it does not have lyrics attributed
I
to
forgot.
Wilhelm, I think.
it. Yes, Wilhelm, thank you.
So we have two sites, right? We have
Yes.
the bridge and what else?
There's a second bridge that's been picked not because it has a particular attraction. You have an object that has been linked to said Strega that has been provided by the Black Crosses. We're gonna kind of get into that in like a flashback in a second. But
Bridges are convenient because they're basically kill zones.
well, you have a clear line of fire and you don't have anything in the background is why they're both being used. Does that make sense? So, and you have the potential to kind of like block them from getting into a district on either side. So both of the bridges are over the riverfront. Or sorry, actually, they're between the Stone of the Wizen and the riverfront. So the Strega's Bridge on the map, is everybody on the Freeburg map, the colorful one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the first bridge is here, and the second bridge is over here. And Hans and Kazi are up here.
Okay.
Did everybody catch all that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'll be with Rose, whichever bridge Rosa's going to be at, with a bow and a lot of arrows, because it may not hit as hard, but he's better with it, and he can shoot a lot more arrows than people can rifle shots, unless they brought a lot of extra preloaded rifles.
He's not using his amazing retractable spear.
She's avoiding getting up close, I'm guessing, until it becomes a necessity.
I mean, he's got his spear with him, but the whole plan is to fill them full of various projectiles until they die again, rather than get up close where they can,
The
whip a great
people who
aggravated
are
wounds.
the people who are going to be in the most danger are the people who are making the music, because they're going to be the ground zero for wherever the thing appears based on
Oh,
how
yeah.
things went with. So what that means is that Rosa and Rosa and Wilhelm are basically going to be on the bridge, and as soon as the thing appears, they're going to be like throwing themselves to the ground so they're not getting hit by shot. So
Yeah, Gav will be at the other bridge, and he'll be the one protecting whoever is reciting this or playing the song.
Yeah, I was,
Okay.
yeah,
I was
in
gonna
that
say
case.
that Honorine is probably going to be with Wilhelm at the other bridge. So Honorine, Wilhelm, and Gav sounds like. And
I
then
thought Honorine was gonna want to go with Rosa, so I was gonna say that Runa would go with Gav.
We need
But-
two people to sing at the, or to do the music. Wilhelm might have it, but it seems better to have Honorine and Wilhelm available to do it,
Okay,
because Honorine
then-
can lay on the floor and throw fire.
I'll go
So-
with
Rosa.
Len and Rosa.
okay.
Yep.
and I can be literally anywhere. She's definitely like being close to Rosa, though.
Okay.
But yeah, Len's got to change it up. He's going to be right there with Rosa because if anything goes wrong, then he can at least draw attention and poke with his spear from the ground.
Loruna can
Gav's
shoot her
falcon
lightning
before.
from anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think she'll be
Back with
on the other side of Rosa.
Yeah, I think you've had the entire day to sort of like sight out like where we can be so we won't be in line of fire and stuff like that. There's been like it's been a long kind of cautious day. And now like nightfall is here and the reason it's happening as a nightfall is entirely so that there's less people that are going to be witness to this. So there's less possibility of them getting caught up in it. You have black crosses that are willing to help. You have the gang that's like up on the rooftops and ready to go with like the longest range rifles that they have. And Hans and Kazi are expecting that this is going to draw Judith, whoever she is. And whether or not she chooses to engage or not is a question at this point. But they're certain she's going to take notice. So the music begins, and as music in the middle of the night is tend to do, there are people that sort of draw to the windows, look out, as the winter night of Freiburg gets even colder. The very air seems to like frost as they begin to materialize, but there's like everybody has been trained to like wait until the signal, wait until, it's called. Um, as they begin to appear. They look much like Mad Queen Marietta did, where they are like floating fate witches in full Strega gear with black strands floating around them, and strands in hand that they hold like whips. They have dark black eyes that there's no sign of the eye itself that can actually be seen. And in the Nightways, what Hans and Kazi, they don't see, but they feel. It's like something just kind of draws their attention across the city, across the bridge to like the other side of it. Um, they are on the most outskirts side as opposed to the inside, but they can feel Judith movement without even like seeing her. There's just like a sense of menace and dread that like ripples through the air. Hans would be making rolls for his like cowardly hoovers at this point if it had not been for the mana will that he just got. Does that make sense? So so on one side, Wilhelm is singing. He's on note and not a great singer, but it's still enough. And I said, if not for the man of will that he picked up, that was the question.
His new advantage.
His new advantage after the result of the Fey blood. So so it is left sort of to the singers to call as to like when. So Rosa begins to see the untangled like appearing over her. The only thing that she has to know is to like when it's fully formed is like last time is when it began to attack. And what is surreal about it is that for the moment, as like the singing is going on, the unraveled themselves look almost peaceful. Does that make sense? Like their eyes aren't closed, but it's like they're floating in time to the music. There's not really like a dance or a shimmy or anything like that, but it just sort of like placidity in the moment that seems like the eye before the storm.
Rosa is gonna hold out as long as she can.
I'm doing a quick roll for your friendo. Okay. Just because I'm curious, I want you to go ahead and roll your music plus your resolve.
Okay, so singer. Yeah. So 8, keep 5. 37.
Okay. You hear Wilhelm's voice falter first, whether it's just because of lack of practice or because he's just a little intimidated by the thing that's with him. Um, and the moment his voice kind of chokes, the the unraveled turns on him, and her eyes seem to focus on him, and lashes like the lash of its fate lash just wraps around his neck and starts to lift him into the air.
Honorine wraps her arms around him to try to pull him away when he falters.
Yeah, and she feels him like he's going cold by the second. Um, and you can, if you want to make this a contested strength roll to try to like pull him completely out of its grasp, you can do that.
Gav is kind of doing the same to the Unraveled, but in a little bit more ungentlemanly way.
Is it a suplex? Isn't that how you suplex? Is that how that's how you suplex, right?
It's absolutely a gut wrench suplex.
Okay. So I would like a strength and attack roll from Honorine, and a strength and attack roll from Gav.
So we're talking Braun
Yeah, Braun.
and okay.
Does Honorine have any like attack skills? Has she been trained in any fighting
I think
styles?
she just has a defense knack.
Okay. So yeah, like
Yeah,
do
she
you
just
have
has
athleticism of any kind?
are you kidding? Is that a joke? No.
Okay.
I mean, she's got marksman, but that's it.
Here's what I'll give you. What is the rank of your noble knack?
2.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a +2 to the roll, not 2 dice, just a +2 from like at least a couple of like dance moves that you're trying to sort of like use a little bit of leverage and whatnot. It's not ideal. You're definitely using something far outside of the field of what it's meant for, but I'm gonna give it to you as an attempt.
Oh. Okay. I can't
40.
I can't think of a reason to switch to panache from Braun because of that, but I really want to. 29, so 31.
You get him out of you got it. You got him out of her hands.
Give me that.
With a full raise for measure, and then you got a 40. So yeah, you managed to like suplex the Fate Witch down, the Unraveled down. You hear a crunch of bone, and then it's like sort of immediately coming up, like whips at the ready. And from Rosa and the other side's perspective, they hear the like fire. And everybody kind of like diving for cover. Wilhelm very gratefully sort of like gasping for breath, crawling towards the edge of the bridge as gunshots begin to rain down.
And she's going to continue to like help him out of the way.
The strangest thing for Rosa is that as this is going on, as chaos is absolutely erupting over on the other bridge, there's no sign of response from the Unraveled that she's singing to. It seems utterly indifferent, completely lost in the music. And it's like a strange thing because like over on the other side, you're watching like the Unraveled's body sort of like twitch as bullets go through it. You're watching as like it lashes out with its fate lashes, and I think it's gonna get a single attack off before gunfire takes it down. So if somebody wants to volunteer to take that lash, they can. Otherwise, it's going to be Wilhelm taking a lash at that point. Okay. Gav just throwing himself in the
Another
way
one.
as it comes up.
If it
Um,
wasn't Gav, it would have been honoring.
Yeah, there's Gav gets like a lash like wrapped around his arm, and there's very much you're tethered to me now, which means that you can't get away. This hurts like hell, but I'm holding you still as I can while everybody else is opening fire. Um and the unraveled like twitches, and then it like one of the bullets travels through it, and instead the unraveled itself begins to unravel. Does that make sense? You watch as like the strands unincorporate around it, and the uh, in the nightways, Hans is watching the shadows move. Um, he can see in great darkness still. That seems to be like one of the lasting gifts from the Shadow Man. And Kazi, for his part, seems to have been trained to it. Like, just extremely, he's used to the night ways, he's a master hunter and whatnot. And both of you are watching the roofs across the water, like the shadows seem to be like swaying atop them. It looks like far more than the motion of a single person. Um, and then the unraveled Gav sees the last of her attire sort of like dissipate, and it was a realization that was hard to make in the moment, as like the ghostly image of the girl that's there. He can see into her eyes. He can see he can see where they're completely dark, like roses are when she's using her magic. But she's 12 or 13. Like that was the age she was when she lost control and she became what this was. And a look over towards like the object that was on the bridge that she was bound to makes it kind of all the more poignant that it's a music box. It had just been assumed that like maybe it was like a gift to, or a thing of nostalgia kept from childhood, when in fact it's like something that still belonged to them. Does that make sense? It was something they treasured even when they died. Um, I can't, you're muted.
You're muted.
Uh, does Gav have time to like reach over and give it to her so that she can hold it while she dies?
Yeah, take a drama die.
Okay.
Um,
And
he
when as he
sees,
does so, he's just like, "It is okay. The pain is over now."
she kind of touches it and it opens and he hears, Gav has never been like, I think the most, uh, faithful, like religion has not been a major portion of his life, but he still recognizes that the music box plays a hymn. And as it plays, he sees what looks like fear kind of like fade from her face. Um, and her voice is tiny, it's just a whisper. But what he hears her whispering is the like the last confessional prayer, like the kind of like forgive me all of my sins, as she begins to fade away. But what looked like fear and uncertainty seems to have like lessened by his final act with her. Um, and Rosa is kind of, she can feel that the unraveled is gone even before she sees it. And the one that is above her is just sort of like floating in that moment, still kind of riding the currents of her voice.
So she knows she just has to basically stop singing.
Yeah.
And Runa's ready to body block Rosa. Rosa can tell.
It's Len's job. The fiance.
You're stabby.
Yes.
Runa can shoot
So,
from a distance.
While they're
How
fighting
can
each
you
other
body
over it.
block? If you're shooting from
What
a
is
distance.
Rosa saying? What is Rosa saying?
Rosa stops and just drops. Says nothing.
And the same thing, I think she's gonna there's gonna be an attempt to somebody can take a dramatic wound on Rosa's behalf as it like lashes a whip at her. Both you roll panache, whoever gets the higher gets it.
Time pauses. They rock, paper, scissors for dramatic mood.
Bullet time, quick arm wrestle.
Just panache. Okay.
Oh,
It's like, no.
Did you use the macro, or
This
did you try
this
to click
is
the
not
sheet?
your destiny.
I just
Oh.
clicked panache for the
Oh yeah,
macro.
don't do that. Don't do that. Just
Yeah.
roll.
oh yeah.
No.
The sheet's broken. You got to use the rolling macro.
Gotta
The
use
buttons don't
macro.
worky.
Yeah.
We're at session 60, bruh.
66.
You know the last time Len has had to
66.
roll anything because he's just been flying everywhere.
You've been here for at least 40 sessions here, bro.
Last time I
Um,
remember, it still works when you click the thing. All right.
It never worked when you
No,
clicked
it
the
never
thing.
has.
It never
Alright.
has. Anyway.
I think just by virtue of like Runa setting herself up to have some distance and like
no,
Len
what
knowing
I
who's-
meant is she can shoot as like the plan was she is on the other side of Rosa, and as we're getting Rosa further away, she can still attack.
Yeah, okay.
But
So
then again, Len has his crossbows, so whichever way it goes. It goes.
no, I think Len is fully like, kind of covering Rosa and doing his best to just like make sure and the lash hits him, I think like just straight like across the back, like shoulder blade to hip.
Hit him in the
and-
ass.
And at the same time, lightning blasts into the back of the Fate Witch, and she, she turns angry on Runa, only to start eating bullets from like every direction from the crosses, and the skeleton
Her
hand.
focus
gang-
turns on Runa. Runa just goes as
Um,
she's sparking.
And in the Nightways, Hans sees. So you see where I pointed out as to like where they were, like up on this rooftop here. On the roofs across the bridge, in as far as Hans can see, he is seeing the shadows move. And he sees one figure resolve itself on the roof that is directly across from them. And she is the first thing that like it probably reminds Hans of is Posen. In the sense of that she's head to toe armored. Except that she has dark black hair that like falls to her waist. She is beautiful and terrible in a way that is almost fey-like in and of itself. And the armor that she wears, Hans being, a military man, et cetera, he recognizes this is like the armor of the Black Crosses that was a crusading knighthood. Like during the Crusades, they were like, think of what we would think of like the Knights Templar or Hospitaller or whatnot. She is wearing that kind of armor, tabard and all. It's not Draconism, but it is now it looks like it's made of shadow and night and death, and kind of reminds of the armor that he used to have. But she is not alone. She as she looks across at them, she's staring directly at where they are. And all of the shadows that are kind of like quivering around her, he sees cloak after cloak after cloak being thrown back. And an army is on those rooftops. An army that looks like other knights, other crosses that are all in her service. And she lifts her blade and she salutes him.
I think he's just going to return with a salute with the Panzer hand.
And with that, she and all of the others seem to uncurl into shadow and like begin to just uh they run down the sides of the roofs like snow falling off of them. Um and Rosa sees in the real world, she sees Astrega appearing, an older one. She looks, I think she's like 17, 18. And her features are frozen and they're bluish as she remembers the story of like her having thrown herself off the bridge. And she stands on the bridge as well, kind of like looking around, recognizing it, and then looking down into the water. Um, and she studies Rosa's the only one who can tell what it is that she looks at because to most others it's going to look like she's looking at Rosa and Len, but Rosa can see very particularly that what she's looking at is the thread between Rosa and Len. Which Rosa has never been able to see herself because Strega can't see their own threads, but she knows that it's a cup strand. She may not know exactly how strong it is, but she knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees like tears fall down her face. And and like a flicker of envy across it before she stands up on the rail of the bridge that she originally killed herself on.
Nope, Len's actually gonna reach up and kind of pull her back onto the bridge. If he can do that.
Um,
You don't have to go this way again. You can just go.
You don't need to be alone.
There was a puckish part of me that was going to have Len just completely, Leonidas kick her right off the bridge, but that didn't actually seem in keeping with Len. It just seemed very funny in my head.
I was just thinking like just full stab.
There's he does take like 7 flesh wounds from the touch. It's just cold. But it doesn't seem like something she's actively trying to do to him. Does that make sense? And she she says, I go to oblivion. She says, but I welcome it over loneliness.
Well, I'm glad you're free to go. I'm
Um,
sorry that you went the way you did.
She looks between Len and Rosa and she says, may what you have endure.
Oh, it will. Don't you worry, baby. It will.
And she gives a like, Len's response is kind of sassy, but like her smile is deeply sad.
As she goes, Runa is gonna open her arms and offer a hug, knowing how lonely she must feel.
It's really cold. Guard your nips.
And she accepts it. Like Runa can kind of feel like a tight squeeze. I'm gonna roll another thing of flesh wounds, but I don't think it's gonna be an issue for much long. 15. She embraces it, and she kind of, she hears like one last sniffle from her.
Just holding her.
And then she's holding nothing. The object that she had, also provided by the Black Crosses. The bridge itself was kind of like the main thing. Does that make sense? But they had also combed for further signs of anything that was connected. You think that it was the bridge that was actually like what drew her, not the object. But there is sort of, like a piece of like memorabilia for her, which is it's an empty bottle of perfume. Like a
Probably
very
given to
ornately
her.
shaped glass.
Probably a gift from the same someone she ended up killing herself over. Poor thing. All right, so I'm just gonna be like shaking out his hand, like, now we just kind of need to know what the city and the dome looks like. Are they still attacking, or like are they still trying to break down the dome themselves, or are the unraveled just kind of aimless at this point?
Rosa can make these were the only 3 unraveled that were in the city. There were not like an army of them. There was just the 3 doing everything that they did.
Oh, for some reason in my head, you'd said there was just an army of them, like yelling at the.
Judith has an army.
Oh,
And they were under the sway of Judith. So, Rosa can go ahead and make a resolve in Black Strands roll. And she's looking up at the sky.
Keep 10?
10 keep 5, I think.
You keep your resolve.
Oh, keep resolve. That's right. Sorry.
I was like, what kind of resolve you got there?
I wish. No.
Legendary.
33.
Okay. Yeah, she is seeing like the strands of death that were meant to accomplish something all over this place. Just like falling, like cobwebs being brushed away. There is still going to be a death toll in the city. The White Plague is still struck, but there is no longer anyone who is fated to die by it. Meaning that anyone who catches it can potentially recover. That doesn't mean everyone will. So at the very least, they've given hope, and whatever the plan was with the Unraveled, whatever this was meant to accomplish, has been forestalled, put off. And Rosa doesn't have a reason for like proof, but what she is sure is that since everything was tethered, since the cobweb, like the center of it, ran through the tower, was that the purpose of it was to weaken the tower. And Kazi next to Hans, he kind of puts a hand on the hood so that Hans can see that he's about to. He pulls his off. Says an army needed a truce and an army needed in Freiburg, and we have neither.
Yeah. Some consolation is Judith seemed less bothered by all of this than I had assumed she would be. So I was just expecting her to charge us. But we fight another day, I suppose.
He nods. I'm glad I did not face it alone.
Indeed. That is an army of death and traitors is not an easy sight on the eyes.
He says, those are not traitors. Those were those lives she has claimed.
All all by people she has killed herself. That
Enough.
is.
The noise.
Jeez.
He says she has had centuries to do her work.
I suppose so.
Oh,
Um,
All that is left is to undo a century's worth of army building. Huzzah. Sure, that will be no problem.
He says, I will let the rest of the order still here know that the Nightways are not safe for us now.
Yeah, that is. It would be good to avoid them for the future.
In he is your cloak, if you don't mind.
Yes. Fold it up, hand it back.
And there's, it's kind of the Black Crosses, they do they just kind of, fade at that point. Like it's no disappearing into shadows. It's just sort of like nods as though recognizing the heroics of others on the battlefield, right? Like it's very much acknowledgement and also like there's more work to do. But
That's fine.
there is at least the victory of the night this night. So I am going to I'm gonna actually open us and do our opening bit, drop the curtain, so to speak, and then we'll get into things. So thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Shadow of the Wachtturm. Our producer tonight is one of the moderators of Dirty 20 Gaming, the delightful and compassionate Gloriosa. Our lore master for the series is the beautiful and benevolent Syndra. Before we get started, I wanted to give a content warning. While the spirit of 7th is swashbuckling adventure and shadowy intrigue, the story will deal with mature themes, including death, loss, suicide, and grief. Eisen, our setting, is recovering from a 30-year civil war over religious differences. It may get dark sometimes, and there's no shame in bowing out if it's not a place your head can go at the moment. So without further ado, I'm going to have our savvy swashbucklers introduce themselves, and I'm going to start with Glory.
Hello, my name is Complacent Gloriosa, also known as Glory around here. I am on this channel I'm on camera one night a week. I produce on the channel 2 nights a week. On alternate Wednesdays for Masks: A New Generation game, for our Masks: A New Generation game, Oracle Force. The next session is not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I produce on Thursdays for our City of Mist campaign, Deviant Paradox. You can catch me in front of the camera on my own channel on Tuesday nights, streaming Graveyard Keeper probably this week, just because I've been obsessed with Graveyard Keeper, which is weird for somebody with a zombie phobia, but whatever. Tonight I am here as Honorine Cease to Cease, our resident noblewoman and grabber of strange men, ? On the bridge. I mean, he was getting carried away. It was a moment thing. Yeah, that's pretty much me. So, I will hand it over to Ruth.
Hi, I'm Ruth. You found me. I am here 5.5 nights a week. Am I good at math? Monday in the Pandora's Gift Suncast as Xenon Al-Qaeda's Cleric of Nits. Tuesdays in Rise of the Temple as Ish, one half of our badass twin monks, also cats. Alternate Wednesdays in our Oracle Force game as Trek, big ball of anxiety and decent therapy friend. Thursdays as Nora, something about horrors, Avalon, and Deviant Paradox. Fridays as Juliet, I'm a get this bitch Fairchild and Everyday Divinity. And today as Runa, Ingvild's daughter, Odin's daughter, either work. And I am not doing anything outside of this, so I'm gonna pass it on over to Gav.
That's me. It's because I had cheese in my mouth. I am Bison _ Stonefist. I'm a regular on this channel, so you would think I would know better. But my body demands cheese, so I shall feed it. I am here 3.5 nights a week. Tonight I am playing Gab the Grin, our sewer surf and suplex machine, literal sir, and soon to be dad. On Monday nights, or Monday afternoons actually, we have our Pandora's Gift D&D 5th edition set in mythical Greece, kind of based on Pandora's box, but not really at all. In that I play Bophades Nuts, the humbled servants of Hephaestus, who has had a several crises of faith at this point, and is wondering exactly if he's going to have to owe Charon a little bit more when he finally dies. He might have to bring 3 or 4 drachma instead of just 2. On this Wednesday, for the Humbled Heart, is a Humblewood campaign run by our very own Hellhounds20, who is an absolute sweetheart. In that show, I play a paladin, Oath of the Ancients. His name is Jasper, and he's just a great guy, eh? I strongly recommend you watch Humbled Heart. It is a very whimsical D&D campaign. We have a lot of fun. It's very silly. On Thursdays for Deviant Paradox, I play Garrett Sakes, our dead inside-ish, sort of. Now there's currently having to deal with a rather complicated love quadrangle. It's 4D. That's all I know. Because it's confusing as hell. And when I'm not there, sometimes you can catch me on Nate Cat Gold Chain Live's channel. We play a lot of Call of Duty together. I'm really bad at it, but we have a lot of fun. So that's me, and I'm going to bring it over to Len.
Hi, folks, it's me. It's your friendly neighborhood bat, Kyle. You can find me here 2 nights a week. Tonight playing Len. Compliment this ass, Costin, the Wizard of Asura. And on Fridays, you can catch me running and Everyday Divinity, our kind of horror-based Scion 2nd Edition game that everybody seems to be enjoying, despite the leech people. And besides that, you can find me either in the Twitch chats of most of these games that have been mentioned, being a menace, or you can find me on the Discord, also being a menace. It's kind of the reason I exist. So let's go over to Hans.
Hey everybody, it's me, Rory again.
Hello.
I'm here tonight, as always, playing everyone's favorite, hopefully, sprinting slashing soldier boy,
You!
Hans Reifenstahl, the semi-recently new man. Watch the backlog if you haven't already. There's cool shit that happens. We've also done a ton of episodes. I'm also in a whole bunch of games, like many of my cast members. Some weeks you can see me 4 days in a row. Yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I play a very small rogue named Esker in the Pandora's Gift Nightcast, the evening game, because there's 2 of them. 2 groups of chuckle fucks, the same story and 2 completely different outcomes. I'm playing the second of the Cat Monk duo in Tuesday's Rise of the Temple game, run by the incredible True Shadowmancer and his awesome, very long made custom world. Check that out. Also really cool. If you love like super granular world building, Shadow's your guy. And then on Oracle Force Wednesdays, I play Graviton, the angsty space NB with with a lot of parental issues that are probably going to come up soonish. Now that we've got, I think we've got most of our cast back now, which is exciting. So stay tuned for that too. And that's it. I might stream Blender really terribly in the near future, but other than that, I have nothing to report. So I think it is just Sarah who has not gone.
There is no escape.
We see you trying to straggle from the corner.
I tried to be like Ruth. We couldn't hear you.
Nobody does it like me.
Hey y'all, my name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I'm on this channel 5.5 nights a week. I'm here tonight as Rosa Nix, the Strega who doesn't want to lose anybody else, because everyone's trying to go do really dumb, scary things. I am in the Monday game Nightcast as Clarity Palace, the best healer ever. The Tuesday game as in Rise of the Temple as Aiko of House Wolf. The Wednesday game, Mask Oracle Force, I play Nightwish. I don't think I'm gonna be leader much longer. Our Thursday game, I am the DM of the Chaos Deviant Paradox. You just have to come watch it, because yeah, there is nothing like it. You say that, but no, she's bitten people. No.
I'm not going to kink shame.
Literally, they'll never kick her out. They'll never kick her out. She's the leader. They'll never. She's stuck with it.
Nobody else wants it.
to.
I have one more game to say. In our everyday divinity, Scion, I play Alexandria Melanoe.
Melanoe.
I'm
You're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I'm hearing it wrong then.
Melanoe.
Okay. Melanoe.
Give it up. Give it up, dude. Time to move on. Nope, time to move on. Let's go.
Wrap it up. You can find me over on Tango Productions working with the Scarred Adventure and Mob Paper Fox on stuff and things that'll come out eventually. Let me put up my links.
And I am Siosa. I am the DM here on Sundays, and unfortunately, this is the only time you can see me because work takes up the rest of my life. I occasionally pop into like shorter games or whatnot as a player, but this is all that I can manage time-wise. But let me kick us off. In the ancient days of Numa, the great storyteller and philosopher Ceres the Wiser once noted that an adventure can only begin in one of three ways: by death, by slur, or by letter. To begin without one of these incitements is folly, a debacle best described as an indiscretion, a dalliance, an escapade. But fear not, we begin tonight properly girded with a letter, the most seductive of the three, and thus the most powerful. Our letter is actually, I said that we were going to have like a bit of like flashback setting this up because we come from, the point where Hans and Honorine are returning through the portal from what they have seen in Charus. And just sort of like as a, as Runa and Gav and Rosa and Len are kind of like prepared and like the portal opens and they see them come through, Honorine and Hans and Kazi they are covered with blood and ichor of some unknown creature. And I think all three of them look varying degrees of traumatized. Even Kazi looks a little like that was a lot, and he's somebody who carries himself like he's seen a lot. So, Gav, you're muted.
No, I just clued into what just happened. It was yeah, okay.
Oh, the time transition. Yeah.
I got it. I got confused.
Are any of you hurt?
So we're coming through the portal.
This is in the aftermath of everything that happened. Yeah, the water portal. This is in the aftermath of everything that happened in Charus last time.
Well, at least we got a shower on our way back.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like these clothes are getting burned kind of vibe to whatever you were wearing.
And Honorine stumbles out, kind of leaning against Hans. Like,
That's fair.
presumably Hans isn't leaning. I mean, Hans may be leaning against her. There might be a mutual lean situation.
Just
He
kind
might
of
be
they kind of just both
traumatized.
stumble out like, holy shit, that was fucking awful.
Yeah.
Sort of a TP situation. Just
Kazi is without the spear that he left with, the one that has kind of always been at his side too.
Do you guys just come back, or did you escape back?
Patting
Both.
down limbs for any injuries he hasn't noticed, just in case.
No one's chasing us, if that's what you're asking.
Did any of you get hurt?
She's
right.
shaking her head at Riven.
Somehow, I don't think so.
Oh, good, because you three look like you took a bath in a slaughterhouse. This is. Oh. Oh.
Do not go inside this. Fucked.
That's just gonna kind of go boop and close the portal. Let's get you guys
We have
cleaned up
to
first.
wait
and
for
then
it to
we can
dry
talk.
out, actually.
yeah, Honorine would just didn't she use her magic to heat it closed
So when
last time?
Len reaches up and tries to, like, I don't know, brush the water off or whatever, she's gonna like slap a hand out and like there's maybe a little more fire than there absolutely needs to be, but she's gonna evaporate the water.
Oh, still got the eyebrows. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Kazi kind of he rubs at his head, and there's a thoughtfulness in his expression. He says, "The new Grandmaster has been selected, but she will appreciate any aid that we can offer to her."
Yeah. Like I said, before we discuss anything, let's get you guys cleaned up in fresh clothes and give you a little time to gather your thoughts before we start badgering you with 1,000 questions.
He says we have the matter of the unraveled to take care of as yet. And one of the lieutenants that was with him was like, "We'll handle that. You get some rest. We have a few hours of night left. We can meet in the day."
Yeah, you're not jumping right into another battle like this. Come on, let's go.
Honorine, let's get you cleaned up. And
The-
Rosa is gonna lead Honorine out.
One of the lieutenants that, like, he was the one who had told Rosa about the strangeness with the cardinal, and then she had like looked into it. He says,
Yep.
"Did you have any more fortune than we did?"
I did. I don't know what she is.
I assume that rules out human.
Yes. As I saw it, her card looked like a mirror and reflected mine back. But my own eyes followed me.
He kind of he nods at that, looking disappointed. Like, this is a person who's been an ally of the Crosses, so
Mhm.
he says, "We'll see everyone in a few hours." Yeah, there's not anything more that we can learn.
I think Runa probably has furs on because it's probably pretty cold outside. She's gonna drape them over Honorine just to kind of cover up some of the blood and offer comfort and warmth while she is.
When Honorine gets back to like wherever they're going, whether it's her place or what, she doesn't often like it's not like she's like sticking her hand in flame, and like she doesn't usually like bring attention to her abilities or whatever, but she doesn't wait for the water to cool down for a bath before she's basically like pouring it on herself. She's and like the clothes are definitely not coming back. Like she's definitely need like several showers before she feels clean again, kind of sense going on there. Just like the water boils and she's just like psh.
Does Kazi go to with one of us, or does Kazi just kind of like wander out and then
He-
go do his own thing?
He had excused himself, and he's gonna like meet everybody in a couple of hours. And then he disappears the same way that the other members of the crosses do.
Runa's gonna walk towards the dragon's tooth with, I mean the dragon's nest with Hans.
Yeah, he's going home. Got to change and get the last like little bit of gore out of the gears of not the gears, like the mechanism of the panzer hand and everything.
If you need any help with that, I'm happy to help.
I know the thing inside and out, but thank you for the offer.
I
Just need to.
have things that I could use to clean it out of the shop.
It is okay. I want to go home for now.
Absolutely. You look like you need a long nap.
Maybe, perhaps.
Or a drink.
No. Yeah, that's the one right there. Bingo.
Hey, you can even get drunk now, probably, right?
Let me know if you need anything.
And just nods and shuts his door, goes inside. Time to relax for a tiny bit. Jeez.
Yeah, I think he gets greeted by he was at the Dragon's Tooth, not heading home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going back to his proper house in the, or no, we may have gotten stuff tangled. He's going back to his like actual house in the Draken Nest.
Okay. So yeah, so he gets greeted by Anna, who hasn't seen him in some time. So but it's just like a very fierce hug. I don't think she's seen him since the like
since the ritual?
before he became a monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she does like kind of she pulls back from the hug looking startled. She's like, "You're warm."
Oh God, it has been that long. Yeah.
She's like, "You're filthy, but you're warm."
You win some, you lose some around here, I suppose.
Clothes can be washed.
Yeah. Some things are changing for the better.
And you owe me more explanation than that.
Just when there is more time.
She says, "Fine,
So many more things.
Fine, but
I'm not
you owe
trying
me
to
more
get out of
explanation
it.
than that."
I promise you, I will tell you the whole story. It is just this ridiculous amount of detail to pack into a short time, and you have to go out and kill some more monsters later.
And you smell very badly. I understand.
Yeah, this is a clusterfuck right now.
I love Anna.
But she squeezes his arm. She says, "If you're going to disappear for days, she says, I've carried a gun. I followed you into battle. You don't have to keep me in the dark of things."
I promise. I do not intend to. There's so much going on. I get caught up in so many things. But I will do better. I promise. Promise you that.
She nods. And she kind of starts to lean in and kiss his cheek, and then kind of seems to think better of it, and like blows a kiss at him instead.
No, that is fair.
Beat the
I'm going
spot
to
up.
deal with all of this.
And I'm
Does a good
assuming
shower like the
if those were a thing, he would totally shower like V in Cyberpunk, just like both hands on the wall.
they aren't quite yet. I like plumbing's in a
Indoor
weird
plumbing's still a
state.
century or two off.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, they have like a complicated sewage system and stuff like that, but it's a
Pretty
and they have
close.
fountains, which means that showers aren't improbable. They're
Not
just
that far away.
expensive.
They
Yeah,
And so
probably view it
takes
as
a
like a
long time.
luxury that like nobody in
It's a rich
Eisen is
people
gonna
thing.
go for that luxury. They all have to take the coldest
Too
of
utilitarian.
Charlotte's house probably has like a shower in it.
Yeah, the big mansions maybe. That's fair.
The look on Gloria's face said that Honorine was like already trying to figure out how to steal her home.
baths. No, I was
Is it
trying to
not being
remember
used as
the.
a hospital right now?
I was
Yeah,
trying
the
to
one that's in the
remember.
hospital right now.
I was trying to remember the name of the woman that put the council together because I was thinking that she like has a secret shower of her own where
Wilma?
she goes to think. Yeah, Wilma goes to like that's where she does all her contemplation. That's her secret superpower is that she has a shower.
All right, so I'm just gonna show this to everybody
Wow.
just for
Sorry.
reference. Since Runa had asked that there be less hot girls.
I said
She wants
more.
less.
I specifically said I wanted more.
That was the joke.
Ah, okay. I'm just autistic.
Who's that? Oh, that's Judith.
That is, yes, that's Judith.
I read the top of it.
It's also on the picture itself.
Belated,
But
I read it.
so kind of back forward again to the Black Crosses were the ones who had shown up with both like the perfume bottle and the music box. Both of which remain even after the Unraveled are gone. And if somebody wants to take them, they can.
Dav will take the music box, like very carefully.
And we can kind of cut to whatever point the Wilhelm to Honorine after like having, I think, been basically tackled by her for safety. He he's like his voice shakes a little bit like this. He is a concert musician who was taken and tortured and he's like recovered a good bit and he's helped with things before, but like he's kind of looking at Honorine in like a new way. Perhaps by
Wasn't
virtue of
he the guy that when Rosa went on a date with him, like he did the stacked like corset thing? So I just can't help but envision him being like, those cease women are curvier than I realized.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of the look that is like, I can't help but picture that Honorine is considerably shorter than him. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like the enthusiasm of her tackle that got him down than like inherent like size and stature. But she did, like pull him away from a creature that was about to like drain the life out of him. He says, I feel honor demands some reciprocation. And he kind of stammers for a moment. He says, if you would like, I could, when some of the bridges are reopened and travel is less restricted, I would be happy to attend a concerto with you.
Well, that would be fine. You set my words to music, though. And I'm still writing another show. So I'm going to need you. So you don't have to feel obligated.
He just kind of he like rubs at his neck and he says, I feel I do though.
All right.
He says,
I'd be
and
happy
it is a gift to set your words to music. He says it gives me an opportunity to be involved with music.
I'm glad you think the gift is yours, but I think perhaps it goes the other way and a little more outward than all of that. But I'll take it.
I feel that in spring we'll all be due for a comedy.
No kidding.
And he kind of, like looks to the candles and everything that are in the windows for a moment. But bids good night after that. So it's there is no immediate action that like the group needs to take. So they can kind of gather. I think they actually have the time to sort of go over what happened in Charus if they want to share the other things that have been discovered. And I imagine the fighting was tense enough that like there's going to be some unwinding before. Felix is kind of like, all right, get those stashed away, make sure there's, good dry powder stored with them in case we need them. He like directing them like a little army and
Yeah.
A little mini general over here.
Gav actually beckons him over and he says, I am more impressed by you every day, young Felix. And the next thing I am about to ask is probably a little. Actually, no, I'm hobbiting here. Now that I've, Bader mind off that. Anyways, he says to Felix, like, when Posen's army comes, and it will come, we will need your sharpshooters on the walls. Can I count on you to be able to do that for me?
he says, we'll be on the walls. And if Posen breaks the walls and invades the city, we'll be in every street corner, making sure her men can't round a corner without a shot to the face.
Make them bleed for every inch, da.
He says, I'm told the officers have feathers in their caps.
Actually, he stops. He takes the feather out of his own hat. And he tucks it behind Felix's ear. And says, we will get you a hat for this later, da.
He kind of smiles. He says, and he takes the feather and he hands it back. He says, if I have a hat with a lot of feathers in it, I want to have earned every single one.
You helped me kill a legend. I would say that is reason for a feather on one's cap, da.
He says, duh, but I didn't shoot you in the face for it.
He laughs and claps Felix on the back. It's like, I had not wished for war to come again in our time, but I'm glad that I'm glad that I am able to ready you for it.
He says, this is Eisen.
Da. And we are
He
Eisen.
says, everyone fights.
Chuckles to himself, claps him on the shoulder again.
He says, I have to get these put away, he says, before somebody on the guard notices.
I did not see a thing.
And he heads back with the gang after that. The And then I think we're gonna go from there to the bear house. Everybody getting together. There can be some time to washed up, compose themselves, or they can head straight over after the fighting. Up to call.
I think Gav heads straight there. And he probably only spends as much time as he needs to make sure that everybody's okay. Everybody is, we're all caught up and all that. And then he's going to go straight home and let Hannelore know that he's okay.
And yeah, she definitely shows the sign that she was worried. It takes a lot longer to like untangle himself from her squeezings than normal. And kind of, like a very like, and when was the last time you've eaten? Making sure you have something before you go. And also kind of getting, the recollection from Gav of like what happened, what transpired, if he shares about, the girl in her music box and
He does. He's at the point where he's not hiding anything from her anymore and like saving it for later so that she didn't worry as much when it happened, but he's not doing that anymore. So yeah, he does let her know about, she was young and, he helped her go peacefully. He shows her the music box.
she takes it very carefully and she spends the time like kind of transcribing the things that he talks about. We had in the past the intro that was like transcribing handle. She is creating a chronicle of Freeburg and of the council and of all of these like major events that she is well aware some people will read and never believe.
Mm-hmm.
But she's keeping a record of it. Um, there was 2 requests as to the perfume. Both Honorine was interested in it, and Runa was interested in it.
I think Runa was actually on the bridge, so Runa probably grabbed it. I was just, if nobody else had grabbed it, I was gonna keep it, but
Okay.
it's Runa's.
Okay.
Yeah, just because they had that, like, I think after the hug, making sure that she, didn't go without having hugged someone, I think that probably would have sat with Runa. And I think that's why she took the perfume.
I'm gonna give you a drama die for that as well. Like just the compassion in the moment from both of you was really great for like, these are adversaries and
They were only adversaries because of the cards they were dealt.
And I think when Gav shows up to the bear house, he's probably one of the last ones because, he's getting Honolulu completely caught up and she makes sure that he arrives with food for everybody. Is there anybody else who's kind of being invited to this meeting as you guys are getting together?
Kazi, if we can get a message to him, I imagine he would be welcome given everything.
I am, and so Rose's, you noted that you've been quiet. Is it just like, is she sitting in the meeting, she's being quiet? Is she preoccupied?
She realizes how close she's been to becoming one of them.
And so it's just kind of sitting on her.
Yeah.
How does that manifest? What does that look like?
It's her more withdrawing from the group. And every so often you'll catch her looking at her hands and at her fate lashes.
Did Hans ever give the little carved statue back to Honoring? Have they had a chance?
I don't think they've had a chance quite yet.
Yeah. So then a good question is Hans bringing it with him when he goes back?
Yeah,
Or
going
is
back
he
to the
hold
meeting.
okay. Like
Now
is
that
he
we now
bringing
that
the
he's got
statue?
time. Mhm.
Okay.
She's gonna break your legs if you don't. So
It's not yet. It isn't his. So
And Kazi's arrival is, through the door instead of out of the shadows, which suggests he is taking the we need to stay out of here seriously. Um, and he arrives looking, like between the fight and the trip to Charus, he looks like he is overdue for some rest himself. Um,
Gav hands him a cup of mulled wine, nice and warm for the winter.
yeah, and he kind of he sniffs at it and he smiles. He says, "Don't take this poorly." He says, "I don't drink fermented things."
It is not. There's no alcohol in it.
Oh,
Mulled wine is not alcoholic.
oh,
It's weird, but yeah, it's
yeah. He takes a sip after and kind of nods gratefully and um he settles into one of the seats and he says, "This place looks very strange from the shadows." He says, We attempted to look in on it a few times before learning it was not worth the effort."
Sorry.
there are a number of reasons we've been more effective than others might have thought we would be.
Helps having a place where no one can actually understand what you're saying.
I want to kind of read aloud this interaction that between Len and Rosa, or have you guys kind of just detail it so that the audience knows what's happening. Because I think it's an important note in the background of things. So
So Rosa, really looking at everyone and seeing how, because I think Gav has Fate Lashes, Len has them now, Honorine has them.
the new ones across his back.
Yeah.
Runa
And so,
also has them.
and Runa has them?
Yeah. She helped kill Gam Gam.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Shoot, sorry.
That's okay.
And, like, she's just kind of pulled away from everyone at this point. Because part of it is she knows how close she is.
And she's been, you said in the chat, or you described she's been like looking at her own fate lashes a lot, looking around
Yeah.
everybody. And Len's gonna be just kind of taking her hands and squeezing them in his when she does that, just as a silent way to say, I'm still here. We're all still here.
And I don't know if lens are visible on him.
Not right now. He took one across the back.
Yeah.
So he's just got like this cool little sort of flowy line across his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's like the Jacob analog in Vampires Suck, where he's like, I contractually have to have my shirt off twice a scene.
Yep.
If it was visible, Rosa would have pulled away.
But it's
because
not.
she's blaming herself.
And, just a little lean in and whisper of, you didn't draw her here. She was already here. The other two were already here. Your blood might have made her a little easier for her to interact with us, but this was going to happen anyway. This is not your fault. You fought. You didn't take the easy road. And while we all bear some scars, you're free.
But I went to find it.
Yeah, and nobody here blames you for that. You were looking for power you thought we needed to fight some of these incredible threats that we face. And you had no idea, none of us had any idea what was going to happen. Who would have thought, a centuries old, incredibly powerful mad witch could still have part of her spirit or soul or whatever in a book?
I don't know if that story is anywhere.
Well,
But
yeah, it's not anywhere. Well, the book is still around, right? Did nothing happen to the book? It's just not.
her
The
version
journal
is
turned
gone.
to ice and shattered.
Oh, yeah. The now it's not anywhere. Nobody's gonna follow in her footsteps.
Beatrice has one.
And I'm assuming a little oops, I spilled some wine on it isn't gonna take that book out of the equation. But it doesn't really matter. You saw her destroyed and moving on. I don't. I think if she could have acted through the other book, she would have already. It needed some very specific catalysts to even happen in the first place. This is not your fault any more than any of the other dooms that have kind of seemed to gather around. Is it Runa's fault that Ruin's trying to destroy everything?
Of course not.
Okay. Is it Hans's fault that he got some sort of weird fairy tug of war thing going on with him?
No.
Okay. Gav, you're just too fucking plain. You stay out of this.
What did I do?
Exactly. Is it Honorine's fault that she went down the path that she went down?
You mean being adopted by another family?
And then, like, also dealing with that apparently, like, she's really into weird wooden handsome prince thing. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that anymore. But like Hans owes it a favor, Honorine would, and it's we all have some weird baggage, and it has all impacted all of us. But it's none of it is our fault. None of us set out to do evil, and in the end, we've sacrificed to keep the worst aspects of what has followed us from affecting the world.
If I ever look to becoming an unraveled, please don't let me.
Oh, you're not going down that route. Don't worry about it. That's never going to be you. You would never abandon our daughter like that. Or me, but let's face it, it's going to be all about the daughter as soon as she's born.
She might be the reason why I do it.
Nah. No, I don't see
But
that.
I'm serious. Don't let me.
But you think now that I landed you, I'm going to let you escape and go all creepy vine witch thing? No, you right here, us. You're not going to go down that road. You're not going to need to go down that road.
Because the
We're
only
going to
thing
have
going through Rose's mind right now is how much her grandmother loved her grandfather. And that it was love that initially sent her down this road.
It was more than just love. You told me about what you saw.
It
About
was
how,
obsession.
yeah. Are you obsessed with? Did you stab me while I was sleeping?
No. Oh, no, no.
Okay, well then you are not your grandma. We go in things together. You're not always just stuck at home wondering what's happening.
The question is asked is where are they having this conversation? I think it's
Openly?
I think it's just quietly in the corner of the bear house. And
Yeah.
um
Apparently,
think
you're all just staring.
I think that's a fair question. So the question asked is, are we all just sort of staring at them watching this? Kazi is kind of like around, I think, what is a coffee table or something smaller and lower. He's just sat on the ground instead of like at a chair, and he's set out like onto the coffee table, the makings of a new spear, like the pieces of it. But for him, it's just like shaped. It's just like a piece of stone, like a wooden shaft, leather, and he's very slowly and patiently like working a stone over what will be the flint like spear tip piece and shaping it by hand. And there's sort of like there's a methodology to it that is very ritual. Does that make sense? Like it's practical in how it's being done, but it's clear that he's doing something that is more than just, oh, I'm remaking my spear. Does that make sense? Um, and he kind of like looks up at the conversation the two are having as there's like a pause in it, and he realizes like, everyone else has been kind of listening in and
I was actually gonna say, I think probably, unless you guys don't want, it might be sort of in the way of like a small party where like there's other conversations going on around the room.
Yeah, that would
And
be.
so they're probably having their own little moment is what I was gonna propose.
I can very much see that.
Yeah.
We can kind of go around and like have some other people have some opportunities for like smaller interactions. You know what I'm saying? I think at the moment Kazi is sort of he's absorbed in what he's doing, but he's listening to what's happening around him. Um, and he looks up at the two of them during the pause of the conversation. Um, and he kind of sets the stone that he's been working on down. Um, he says, I am not a part of this council, he says, but I have been involved in watching all of you for some time. He says, um, it is how you have treated one another. He says, in standing by each other. He says, in seeking the betterment of the city. And he looks directly to like Runa at this point. Says, and the sacrifices you have willingly made on behalf of each other that convinced us to break centuries old rules about our secrecy and take a chance. There is no small amount of desperation included in that. He says, but even in our most desperate circumstances, if you had been interested in your own power and its growth, we would never have made such an opportunity. It is most unlike us, above all else, to side with sorcerers of any kind. And he looks at Rosa and he says, and you, despite all of your connection to your grandmother, you have sought to limit your power and been afraid of it rather than use it to take advantage. Um, he says, a wise person once said that power does not corrupt, but rather that it reveals. And as you have gained power, all that it has revealed is the care that you have for your family and your friends and the city. But when your grandmother gained power, she used it not for the protection of those she loved, but the control of them. Do you not see the difference between yourself?
And it's kind of at that she relaxes and relaxes like into Len. Of like, okay, yeah, I do. Doesn't say it, but she
I mean,
is
I
giving up.
I thought I made a good point with that whole "you didn't stab me in my sleep" thing, but that works too. Thank you, thank you.
He kind of gestures to her hands. He says, "Those are scars that you have taken in a battle." Says, "They will teach you something." Says, "But you should not be ashamed of them."
I worry how long they last.
They may be with you to the end of your life.
Scars have no time. Scars do not exist on a time limit. As Runa's there, covered.
They are lessons.
That will go when the time's right, but the time may never be right.
Hope that the next time I use my magic again to help is not my last.
You know we won't let that happen.
He says, "Do you believe that those who were unraveled, when they were destroyed, that they were freed?"
Duh. She looked like she was at peace.
So when she took her life.
He says, "And your grandmother," he says, "when she was freed, was she released or was she frightened?"
She was frightened.
She says, "Do you think that is because of the life that she led? Or some damnation because of her sorcery?"
She believed she had more to do.
I do not see fate, and I do not see the future. But what I see is someone who tries to do the right thing with the tools that they have. If those tools condemn you, and you become one of these creatures, I promise it will be, if it takes my last breath, I will make sure you are freed from that existence." And he nods in understanding to her.
Because if I remember correctly, Rosa knows like that can just kind of happen.
So what she knows is that the use of her abilities to manipulate fate is what causes it, and taking fate strands enough that she dies from it is what creates an unraveled.
Yep.
And
I want to make sure that same understanding.
Yeah, and he bows his head in understanding that, like, he knows there's just no control of fate, and power is a curse for Strega in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hide it. I am a little bit glad that that wasn't part of the heritage I got. Because
You would not have taken it lightly.
I don't think I would have handled the kind of magic that Rosa has, as well as Rosa has. And I'm glad I don't have to.
I don't believe I would be able to handle yours either. And she
I
just
like
leaves
being
it
a
at
bear.
that too.
What'd you
It's
say,
pretty
Len?
awesome. I said I like being a bear. I'm sorry you kind of look at each other's magics like that. I think you'd all have fun getting to be a bear or an owl or something.
No.
Might be nice to touch lightning.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I don't want to take wounds from people like you do. That's
I'm
a
not.
wholly rude
That's
thing.
not a Sturgeon thing.
That's not magic. That's just talent.
It's you either are born with it or you're not.
Talent.
All right.
And honoring is going to sit down next to Kazi and kind of, is Hans here by now? He's been here? Is he here?
I think so, yeah.
He's been sitting a little bit off and like making notes, trying to get a sane recounting of what happened in Shrew, so he doesn't just ramble about how fucking awful it was.
And occasionally making sure there's not pieces of centipede under his nails still, I imagine.
More so just like looking at the panzer and being like, okay, did I get everything? I did. Okay.
Look on Corey's face when I brought up the centipede again. That was just, it was just 1,000 yards staring.
Horror.
Yeah, and he kind of should.
So
Would you
honoring
like me to tell what has happened so the others may know, or if you can tell, and I will fill in any details that you've left out?
what I was gonna say is that honoring kind of sits down next to Kazi, and with Hans and everyone there, she's gonna just sort of start to recount what they saw in Charus, like, and I'm sure there's plenty of like the other two like adding what they saw, like where she's like, I don't remember. There were two, three, like that kind of like letting them fill in or whatever. But like she's gonna recount the entirety of what they saw in Trues as best as she can remember and convey.
And Kazi adds some context here that like they've been lacking, which is like the appearance of a stranger is like they're used to seeing one like every decade or so. Like they're not like unheard of, but they're infrequent and they're always dangerous. And so like the fact that they've infiltrated to the point where they're traveling in groups is testament to just how weak the barrier there is. Not to mention the larger creatures that come through. Like that kind of thing happens periodically. And usually the die cruisers just sort of like show up in force and get rid of whatever it is, but it's apparently happening so often and so fast that they're like willing to destroy the city to like take them down as they appear. So that's some context he adds as honoring is kind of describing everything that's happened. Does Hans add anything?
If it doesn't get mentioned already, he looks back to the notebook quickly. And there is what is the best word for this? So there's a very huge Porte demon lady. It's a remnants of character would know, but I've forgotten the name of the lady who set off the whole ritual.
Princess shit, I forget her name too.
I just blanked on her name as well. Go ahead and pull up the letter written by her.
It's not Isabel. It's
Bloodwind? Because there's blood.
Ninth daughter. Dominique Dumontaine.
I was way off.
Yeah, the daughter of the emperor who set off the whole crazy blood thing, is apparently now a demon that has taken over the entire castle. So that is it's important enough, I guess. Is kind of should avoid it if we have to go back there. More doom.
Do we
Just
tell
another thing that we learned about
Montague about
Yes.
his?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I definitely need to tell Montague.
Yes.
Poor guy's been through so much. Like, I know he needs to hear it. I'm not saying don't. I'm just.
Has anyone
is it?
visited him lately?
Yeah,
He
how
may-
long has it been since we've seen him?
Well, there's the whole plague thing, so we haven't really.
Runa has been going around doing doctorly things. So if she would have came across him
There's been no
that
news
way-
that like news that Montague was dead is something that would travel.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
they'd assume that like he might be sick because he was sick last time, but like beyond that, the state is unknown. But absolutely, like if Montague had perished from the White Plague, like it would be heard of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Honorin's like, if he's still around, he was pretty ill. We would have heard.
Sure.
And his chances probably increased since the whole unraveled thing has been nipped in the bud. So
Yeah, that is true.
Fated to die. But White Plague will still take its victims.
oh yeah, I know it's not like a permanent thing. Everybody's healthy now. But you did also mention that they seemed like they were guaranteeing effectively that people were going to die from it. At least they've got a fighting chance now.
Oh,
And
dear.
Sivas, he had the target on his back. If there was any, so much of this is beyond me. But maybe he is not fated to die now. There's hope.
Well, so we need to tell him what happened. I doubt the child survived.
It was kind of implied that the child was the sacrifice to make the bargain.
The child was born with Porte, and Dominique used a spell.
Are you guys
from-
saying this out of character? Because I know that. Out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
character.
I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm
Honoring
it out of
saying in
character.
character, I don't think the
Okay.
child survived.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't need a bunch of actually. I'm good, thanks.
And Kazi, he says there have been many evils wrought in the world by those who long for sorcery but do not have it.
Yeah. So did
Yeah.
we clue him? Whoever talked to him last clue him into the possibility that she had done that? Because I think we knew about it, like the possibility from meeting with Beatrice before.
I believe Rosa did.
Yeah, I think Rosa
Yep.
and Henri
Yeah.
went to let him know that like there was a chance that
I
like
did. Is what she'll say.
Okay. Well, at least that's one less bomb to drop on him. But yeah, we should probably visit him soon and make sure he knows what has happened so that he doesn't hold out. Doesn't hold out unnecessary or false hope. And yes, my love, flee. Flee and bury the stink.
Fight a match.
Oh, yeah. In other news, we reach into his jacket. There's a whole bunch more of these now. Lays out 2 more rings, necklaces, and light swords.
Oh, more of the Cernith weapons and such.
It's a silver lining from that little expedition.
So how many of these?
Kazi says we have a few of these in our own storage. If they prove to be useful or necessary, we would share them.
Well, I was just thinking if we have enough of these invisibility necklaces, especially, how feasible would it be to use those to do a quick um, little raid to get Gris free?
And Kazi says these do not make someone invisible. These allow you to steal the appearance of another, which would be
Even better,
useful
actually. Yeah.
if we were disguised in some way. He says, but and it's ironic because he is probably the one person here that could pass as a crescent.
Yeah. But yeah, if we have one or two people who can speak and understand Crescent and a little time to steal some faces, I think we could take one long-standing uh problem off the list.
Um,
Runa has seen Curidan.
That
Do you
doesn't mean
have-
she can use the necklace because she has to physically put it around somebody's neck to
Ah,
get it to copy what they look
Yeah.
like.
so
Oh, that's how it works.
Rosa also has a set.
Yeah, I think we established you've got 4 between you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
there's the 3 strangers and then the one we got from Not Wilma.
Yep. I kept. Yeah. Yeah, he's laid out 2 sets.
Like
So
we don't
we
even
would
need all of the light weapons and everything. We would just need enough to cover whoever's going a temporary place to set up to steal some of those faces. And then probably I'd say a couple light knives to open doors we might not be able to open any other way. But if we're smart about it, we can conceivably be in and out just as long as the goal is just to get Gris. I don't know that we can stage an entire breakout of however many prisoners they have.
These were like they're like small, like dagger-sized blades, right? The light weapons.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, they cut through.
what
just
people
about
can be
anything,
disguised.
so, yeah. Well, we don't even need to necessarily. We could probably, if we had one extra, we could probably just give Gris a temporary new face too. But I know it's been wearing very heavily on you, Runa, that we have just not had the time to go and rescue your friend. And
not my friend. A second mom.
your second mom, apologies. But that
He
we
helped
haven't been
her
able
raise me.
to go get her. So I feel like this is the time before we embark on the magical dragon boat adventure and everything. We should try and tie up a few other loose ends because there's no telling how long we could be gone on this next leg of things.
Yeah. Wrap up things here while we have the chance. As much we can, at least that's a good idea.
Yeah. And if we
Um,
can get some information on Charlotte so that when our good swordsman friend gets back, we can, give him
I can
some
check on her
leads.
whenever we need.
Well, good.
Gestures to her to the gateway room.
Kazi says, can I be of some assistance during this?
I mean, we would probably welcome it, but I also know you got a lot going on, my friend. From the sounds of things, a lot going on and a lot of responsibilities. So
I do, and the council has helped us numerous times already. And he says, so and I just want to point out, because you are in a theater above the costume shop with somebody who could pass for Crescent, and the ability to copy his appearance with multiple necklaces would allow you all to take the part of Crescents while going.
That's probably better than Len's thought of like sneaking in and trying to find different faces to take.
Makeup could be used to make his face look like slightly different from each of the versions, so it wouldn't be like, why is there 4 of the exact same guy? But
Quadruplets.
Mom
What,
just
what
really
now?
liked this type, so here we are. But yeah, no, we should definitely. Does anybody object to the kind of side doing the side mission to get Gris home and safe?
Having another seasoned sailor aboard the Revenge would be also very useful, da. I am not the sailor.
Even if she wasn't useful in any way, shape, or form, it was just Runa's second mom. I feel like for all Runa's done for us and the many wounds she's stolen from us, even when we didn't ask her to. But we love that about her. We would owe this to her. She's family.
Of course, but I am also saying this is a very. There are multiple benefits to doing this, da.
Yeah, and it can be kind of
Another
a dry
ally.
run for us to if we have to go back to Crescent to get Charlotte, because we're gonna get Charlotte eventually, but not without Gerard. Gerard especially is owed
Yeah,
being part of that.
it's owed a great deal.
How are we getting there?
Perhaps a freaky portal room.
We already tried that. It leads right underneath their palace.
The royal
Oh yeah,
family. Remember?
I forgot
We were
about
just
that.
like, oh,
Yeah,
guys,
We're just
and
like,
then
oh shit,
Yeah,
never
that,
mind.
that
Again
portal's
on
a
the
no-no
guards.
zone.
Yeah.
So that's right. I remember that. That's
How
really
much for me to buy Crescent? Because I'd assume that Honorine had already been teaching her.
if nothing else, you can buy the 1 point version, which is like I speak the Creole of it. The pigeon. The actual cost varies based on where you're from.
I'm gonna check because if she's gonna be reading medical books and most of the good ones are Crescent, then she's gonna want to have a better understanding.
As far as the way there goes, Henri knows that it would be Jamais who's capable of getting them there and getting a few people out. Now, the thing is the more people go in, the fewer can come out. Like alongside Jamais. Does that make sense? So the more you kind of stack it with additional people, the less people they can rescue. Does that make sense? Because Jamais can only take so many people, and it's a
Yeah.
difficulty roll for her to like carry more with.
I think
Well, that's fair.
in Gav's opinion would be that 3 people plus Jamais, so that the shifty things, the necklaces are all accounted or being used.
Okay.
Plus
I
it
was
protects
gonna-
Jamais a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna suggest like 2 and 2, so we would have a couple in reserve. I don't know if Jamais will need to be disguised or if she's not going to be though. Like if she just sort of pops in.
It would probably be wise for her too, but either way, she's going to be appearing in a portal, which she doesn't yet know where it is going to pop up.
Right.
So let's do some rolls real quick. Since Runa's the only one who's actually seen the crew of Círdan's ship, she's the one who's most appropriate for like designing a costume. So I'm gonna have you do a wits plus your artisan or your tradesman
craftsman?
ability. Yeah, craftsman. To be costuming. Somebody is going to be going and retrieving Jamais and kind of filling her in, I assume.
Do you want me to do that roll now?
Yeah, go ahead and roll now. I assume explaining to Kazi the sort of plan and
25. Did he also freeze or is he very still?
He's very still.
Ah.
Oh no.
He does that sometimes.
Oh, sorry. Me?
Yeah, you're just like,
Sorry about that. Okay.
You did that
what'd you-
last week too, and we thought you had frozen.
It was
Oh.
just dead silent, and
Sorry,
you
I
were
was-
so still.
Okay, so you take Kazi down to the costume room. You know, he does kind of look a little askance at like the giant thing with the drop cloth over it. The dragon egg.
You don't
He
want
did-
to know.
And you know, when it's like, okay, we're gonna get you costumed, he comes from a culture with no taboo about nudity. So, you know, clothes just come off.
I don't think it's really a taboo for the Vestin either. So
Yeah, I think Vestin kind of like weaponize nudity. Like they just sort of enjoy making other people uncomfortable with it from time to time.
but yeah,
Um,
she's just handed him clothes. She doesn't care.
Yeah. And you get a couple different looks, and the necklace is used to copy said looks. Probably some light makeup to like at least make the shape of his face look a little bit different, so that at a quick glance they're going to look differently. And you can also use the rings to borrow his voice, so that you will sound like men with his timbre of voice, as opposed to, you know, like Runa's voice or whoever
A
else is
Vestin
going.
accent speaking Crescent.
The accent will still come through, but
Okay.
it'll come through with his like
Cool.
vocal
It's like voice mod.
range. Does that make sense? So, okay. So, who are going? Runa's going because it's her friend. Shimei is going, and then we were thinking it was going to be two. The only other person who speaks Crescent, I believe, is Honorine. Does that mean Honorine is going as the second, and you've got some people ready to be enforcers as backup, or is somebody going who's more enforcey?
I mean, if Honorine, I don't really have enough time for a crash course on Crescent, but yeah, I think if no one else has a better reason, I think Gav would go, just simply because he is the only person who does not need to pick up a weapon to hurt somebody and or cast magic. He can be discreet.
And we
As
can take
discreet
more
as-
than two. Like that was just a suggestion.
Let me, I'm looking up something real quick in regards to Porte. So,
I can be one of the backups in case you need somebody to show up as a cat and scout around.
okay. So, two things about this. She can she Honorine is going to know, even before Jimmy has called it, everybody going through is going to have portal sickness the round that they arrive, which means that like if you are caught and found out and like attacked in the round that you arrive, you're going to have penalties to any and all actions. Like there's just Porte sorcerers get like a reduction in it, but it's like a number of rounds that you're basically incapable of acting. Does that make sense? And you are portaling onto a ship, and you can't really control where that portal appears. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Portal sickness. What's your first attack roll? I roll to throw up on the guy touching me. Just blood.
Can we have Runa take a look, like try to look in on Charlotte and see if she has her shoes? Or
She did not last time, but I can check on her again.
Can't hurt to look in and have some information on what's going on.
And because I've mastered the gateway rune, I can do this for free.
Go ahead. So wait, so you are choosing to master this now?
Yeah.
So we have not actually
told you I made
played that
that
out
decision.
in game, though. But we have not actually played that out in game.
Right.
Well, we're not in combat, so like I don't know that it doesn't matter.
The reason I'm asking is because the becoming is sort of like a very big thing. Does that make sense?
I just didn't know what
So-
the process for it was. So I can
So,
just roll for it.
The process is that she's carving it into herself in like a deeper fashion than she ever has before.
Right, yes.
And so here's what I want you to do that roll because it's like 10 actions of you doing it. Like I'm not so worried about that part, but like if this is okay with you, narratively, what I would like to have happen is like her see something that is going to compel her to want to look longer and just unconsciously do it so that she can keep her gate open as she's looking and like become it as a process of continuing to look. Does that make sense? Does that work for you narratively?
Yeah, chef.
He masters it by accident.
More by like a choice made in the moment while she's still caught up in the vision. Does that make sense? So the
I roll regularly, right?
yeah, you're rolling. There's a difficulty for the becoming.
And what would that be?
That's a very good question. One I'm looking up right now.
What would that be?
Um,
Holy fuck.
the internet loading circle.
Become effect is a target number of 40.
I did
Oh.
it. Flying colors. I rolled a 72.
Okay. Okay, so you rolled a 72. So
That's a 10, keep 5, baby.
so you
And like 4 explosions.
Yeah,
so-
4
so
explosions.
Rose is going, fuck you guys and your explosions. Since hers are what kill her. So
Happy
there
for
was
y'all. Y'all have all the explosions.
so there was a time not so long ago when you used Gateway and rebounded off of a mystery rune. And there is a sort of like focus and urgency that come. Let me finish. I'm not about
Yeah,
to traumatize you.
Okay. No, I was
There's
like, are you gonna mystery me again and how?
Nope. There's a focus that comes with it that you have not felt since then. Does that make sense? And as you sort of arrive on the deck of the ship, you see like you're in like a small closet that is a galley in which the personal effects of multiple slaves are kept. Does that make sense? And you can see the much nicer shoes that Charlotte brought aboard and the dresses and everything that and the clothes that she was wearing in this small closet that is like across from where Charlotte is being kept. And there's just sort of a moment of like Charlotte is here with her hands like bound above her head. There's not a like stitch of clothing on her. And she looks like she's been worked over a few times by likely a torturer of some kind. She still appears to be conscious. She doesn't appear to be like missing any limbs or fingers or anything like that. But it looks like people have gone to work with like brands and whips. And as you're looking in on her, kind of, you see the shoes kind of like across the way, and you see her. She sort of lifts her head, and for a moment, it's like, wait, can she see me? And then you hear what she's hearing, which is the high-pitched whistle of a cannonball. And then the ship rocks as like nearby you see timbers explode and one of the cannonballs travels through the side of the ship. And it's hit at like at water level, and the galley where the rowers are is at water level. Does that make sense? And so Runa cannot shift her focus away from the person that she's watching. Does that make sense? Until she like clenches the knife in her hand and begins to carve, and everybody else sees her like suddenly like redoubling and carving over the rune that she's just carved it. And they can see like the byplay of like electricity back and forth between the knife and her forearm. As Runa holds onto power like she's never held onto it before. And instead of going back to her body and using the rune again, she suddenly switches and she sees Gris kind of like looking shocked and looked down at where the chains have just like a few of the slaves have just been ripped through by the cannonball, but there are others that are down and like in shock and bleeding from where shrapnel of wood has like gone through them or gone into them. She busily starts to like try to kick at some of the chains, try to kick them off of the benches. As you can hear orders being barked in Crescent overhead. And one of the Crescent slave masters comes down with a whip and like begins to shout orders to them to get rowing. This is a galley. It travels by virtue of the oars. And so they're well trained to be able to get them to keep working in the middle of a crisis, right? And chaos is like opening up all around. Does that make sense? And when she looks through like the opening of where the cannonball just hit, and she can see like more traveling towards the ship, and she can see there's a Vidachi ship of the line in the water that's opening fire and on Kiradin's galley.
Is it out at open water? Or are there any landmarks?
No, they're in port still. They're anchored. And what is she wanting to look at now? Is she wanting to keep watching Gris, watch Charlotte? Is she trying to like look over at the ship?
Okay, so just for clarification, Gris is in the galley.
Gris is in the galley. Charlotte is in a brig in the back, and her clothing is across from that brig.
Okay. And do I have any idea where they are in, like, where we'd be coming out to, like, where Charlotte is, because her effects are across the way.
If traveling
to
through
the
Jamay's
galley.
portals, they would be coming out of the closet that is across from Charlotte.
Crazy.
Oh, coming out of the closet. Got it.
Like, do I have any idea of how we get to the Kellys from there?
Yeah, it's down a bridge. The ships are not huge. Like
Cool.
they don't have complicated methods of like egress from one area to another for a very specific reason, because that gets you killed in a fight, right? So, because we're about 15 minutes out and I really can't stay late, here is who is going to go through the portal, because Runa can watch everything from here. She can gateway from here, and if she travels through, like she can help with Gris. So you do want her going through, even though she won't be able to like effectively gateway once she's over there, because it's like a combat zone.
Gav goes through the gate.
She wants to go. But now she knows where everything is. And can tell everyone else
Okay.
where we're going.
With the 70, there's one more thing that I'm giving you. Okay. I'm going to give you a choice of one of two freebies. Okay. One freebie is about who's doing the attack, and the other freebie is about, I'm going to say, the biggest danger on the ship. Your choice of the two. But you only get one because of the 70-year-old.
Biggest danger on the ship.
Okay. As you are watching, and you see like, like more of like the cannonballs coming in, there's a position where she kind of finds herself like up on the ship. She's seen Kiridan before and she's watching him. And she sees him like draw both of his blades, and there are sparks that travel down like Greek fire liquid that's on either of his scimitars, which makes them like burst into flame as he uses them, right? But that's not the thing. As she realizes, as she's watching, she sees him. He takes the blades that are flaming and he crosses them and he lifts them, and his eyes light with fire from within. And he says, "By Theos, protection," in Crescent. And then he splits the swords, and a bird of flame takes off into the air away from the blades.
Uh-oh.
That is a trademark attack.
That is
Lawyers are gonna.
that is Honorine's magic that this crescent seems to possess. But he seems to believe that it stems from like Theus and a magic and like a holy source. Because they've seen like how they've treated sorcerers. He thinks he's something else. He thinks he's blessed, right? And the bird of flame launches through the air, heading towards the Vidachi ship, growing larger as it flies.
Okay.
So now we're going to cut to Runa like coming back out of this vision with the awareness that like seconds matter in this moment.
As soon as she comes out, she just goes, "We gotta go now," and is like relaying all this information, and it probably feels like tidal waves hitting everybody, but she needs them to know, and they need to go.
So one small bit of information as she's coming out of this, like everybody has seen, where is Runa's gateway ruin actually carved?
Oh, I had it all written down, and I don't remember. I think it is here.
Like sternum?
Yeah.
So as she's kind of like relaying all this, those who are near her can see that it is still sparking, like it
Sternum
does.
or like just above her boobs, so same
Yeah.
diff.
We'll say like breastplate kind of area.
Yeah.
Is it bleeding or is it just sparking?
It looks like it's like kind of cauterized, but it's like continuing to spark back and forth. Even after she's kind of closed down the gate, the rune itself.
Okay.
I think Honorine is just arriving as this happened with Chimay, if she was the one who went and got her.
Sure.
All right. So volunteers for who is going through the portal to the ship?
Yeah.
Runa. Okay. Chimay is capable of, I'm gonna do her roll real quick. 44. So she can take 4 with her, and that'll be 4 on the way back if she holds the portal open the entire time. That's in addition to herself. So
Gotta leave one for Gris. One more person could go, or we hold for somebody.
Put your mic down.
Sorry.
thank you.
So one more person could go, or we hold for backup in case you need to bring 2 people back. Who knows what else you might find.
I mean, Charlotte is also on the ship.
Yeah, but she's chained.
Yeah.
But you have light knives.
Yeah, we got the
We have
that's
light
true. We got
knives.
light knives.
It's your call on whether you bring her back, I guess.
We could bring her in at the
Honorine.
same time, but that's
Chimay could grab her because the portal's opening right across from her. But also that leaves Chimay alone.
Gotta decide
Can't
quick.
Can't Charlotte get herself out of there if she wants to?
She can. Why she has endured everything is definitely a question.
They've probably done something to her that she can't.
Get out.
Maybe. Honorine will go.
Okay. So everybody who goes through, I need a quick resolve roll. The target number is 10. I just need to hear a pass from everybody or not.
Doesn't matter.
Pass.
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 Okay. Jamae gives the quick and dirty, like, I don't care what you hear. Don't open your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Don't open your eyes. But there are voices that call to all of them as they are going through. Honorine hears Tomas asking, like, why she hasn't mourned for him. If he ever really meant anything to her. Gav hears Roland. That was the name of the person who headed the expedition. I got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Roland. Warning him that like Honolulu is in danger and that he has to turn back now. And he has to let go and like let go from the group. Runa hears a voice speaking in words that she does not understand. And what she hears is something like draconic and rasping, a voice that speaks in a language she doesn't understand, but like seems imbued with power. And it seems as though for a moment, like the Draken itself from like the vested lore is trying to reach out to her.
Shit.
And then you were through and into my ear. And then you were through and onto the deck of a ship that is being hit by cannon fire. Even as like through the openings in the side of the ship, you can see that the other ship has been hit by fire and is burning, but not like turning back. Does that make sense? One of its masts is completely aflame, but there are men on the deck of the ship that are hacking at the mast to get it to topple into the water so it doesn't catch the rest of the ship on fire, because the ship can still function with only one. And so we come to choices at this point. You're dressed as crescents. Everybody is running around, putting out fires literally, or like in other ways, like assisting with this battle. And they do not have the time to look twice at you. So the questions are, Charlotte, yes or no? Are you freeing her?
That's Honorine's call.
Come back to me, please.
Okay. Okay.
Bruno's going straight for Gris.
To take 3 or 4 people, just to keep numbers in everyone's heads.
Yep. So she's gonna be able to, yeah, you guys went through with 3, you're coming back with 4. So it would be Gris or Charlotte, but that's like if you were trying to bring Charlotte through. But I asked if they were freeing Charlotte because she is a Porte sorcerer.
If we free her, where's she gonna go? Like
Wherever she wants. Wherever she has a blooded object.
yeah.
So do we then free her and then hold on to her? Because my
It's
understanding,
not an option.
she can't just like out of somebody's hand. Son of a bitch.
She can open a portal and go through it, and she doesn't have to open it wide enough for someone to follow her.
If she's free, she's gone. So
Yeah.
But she can open a portal even though somebody's like got them by the wrist.
The issue is that if somebody gets her by the wrist, she can use that hand and another to open a portal through their arm.
Okay, I'm just thinking like because I mean when all you've got is 2 bare arms, the options are pretty much grab and squish.
Yeah, the how Porte sorcerers are traditionally restrained is they're bludgeoned unconscious first.
Gav can work with that.
But we're on a very tight timeline because you've got like cannon fire coming in and everything like that. Um, so Runa can get to Gris. She can free her in the commotion. Jemay, who is not disguised, is just sort of like remaining in the bridge area, and Runa is quickly running back with her. And Gris is kind of like, wait, we have to get the others, trying to like pull through chains. And so there's no way that they can go back through the portal with them. But that doesn't mean that I think Gav has the strength in this moment to pull a whole lot of chains out of their sockets to at least give them the chance to like dive to safety, swim to shore.
Yeah, best to know how to swim.
Runa's just gonna hold Gris and go, we can't take them with us, but we can free them.
So I'm gonna have Gav making a brawn roll. You can add whatever athleticism you want. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna look back to Honorine. Like Charlotte sees her through the bars.
She's freeing her. She's going to, so she's in a cell, right? Or is she actually bound, or what?
She's in a cell that has to be open for her to like open the chains that are on her wrists.
Is there a key nearby, or we going to have to do this the hard way?
She's got a light knife with her. I'm just gonna assume, so it doesn't ultimately matter. It would just be like a leather strap to a lock anyway. So
Honorine cuts open the lock and the door, and she meets Charlotte's eyes. She pauses before she cuts Charlotte free, and tells her, "This isn't me letting you go. This is me making sure you don't die before I can make you pay for what you did." And then she cuts her free.
what is Honorine's defense?
Probably nothing. I have a defense stack.
Okay. What's it at?
1 dot, probably.
So target number 10.
Hang on, I'm having a hard time seeing it. I'm sorry. We've got the terrible background again.
Yeah.
Tienda hit says 10, according to my notes.
Okay.
And there's 1 dot.
Okay. Okay. So
You know, let her just do that to you? Slap her back?
of course. Roll your brawn against a target number 14.
It's just the brawn straight up?
Yep.
Okay.
What was your brawn roll, Gav?
16.
35. Honoring beater.
So Gav like yanks chains free and they quickly like go in all directions. You know what I'm saying? Once the shout is kind of put out to like, get yourself free, etc. And then like as this is happening, Honorine is like cutting Charlotte free and she sees Charlotte's hands rip that sword that had been described before. And goes to try to like plunge it completely through Honorine. And Honorine is able to like twist fast enough that it's just like a light cut across her side. Nothing deeper, nothing more dangerous. And the and as like the another shot hits the ship and a cannonball kind of like smashes through part of the brig. There's an explosion, like shrapnel in all directions. And she hears Charlotte screaming, "Why do you ruin everything?" And then there's the rip of a porte gate. Make another brawn roll.
15. It's still higher than the 14.
She tries to pull Honorine into the porte gate.
Hmm.
And Honorine can tell what's happening, even if she sees that she isn't trying to pull her through the porta gate to bring her with, she's trying to close it halfway. And Honorine manages to like twist out of the way right as the gate closes, with Charlotte through it.
The tip of a pinky of Charlotte's pinky just like drops to the ground.
And Jabay has kind of like, she's already re-ripped the gate open. She has to make another roll for this. I know. Okay, and she manages to open enough for Gris for one more for everybody to get back through. And I'm going to drop the curtain as everybody's sort of pushing back through. I'm not going to make you make more resolve rolls. We gotta get going. So I want an RP nomination for 2 people. I have to close out. Sorry, I know we're kind of just at the end of like a cliffhanger moment, but we will pick up with like the reuniting with Gris and.
Can we put our RP nominations like in chat and have you look at it later?
Do it later.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Read us out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Nope, I'm gonna do it properly. It's fine. It only takes a minute. All right. Thank you for everyone watching this YouTube and live on Twitch. Audience participation always means the world to us. And if you're on YouTube, smash the like, hit the subscribe, make a comment at the down below. Here at Dirty 20, we always send out with the same call to action. Be nice. Be kind when you have the spoons, but even if you don't, be nice. Be nice to strangers, be nice to your family, be nice to your loved ones, and be nice to yourself. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Ciao.